I was having a conversation with my dad about how the current administration that's about to come up might try to actually devalue the dollar, like technical stuff. I told him, I was like, I'm not for devaluing the US dollar, but if they will be doing that, the sole purpose should be for acquiring more Bitcoin. And if that's the case, then I'm okay with it.
I don't want them to hold 30%. If anyone's going to hold it, I would rather be in America than anyone else. I would rather not be the case just because I don't want the holding of Bitcoin to be centralized. Because that does put it in a predicament where America sells Bitcoin once and the market will crash.
Correct.
That's also a difficult thing to say because we've also never sold our gold before either.
Welcome back
to another week
of your favorite crypto podcast,
Sometimes Crypto,
the Unscripted
Crypto Podcast. Hey, yo.
It is that time of year, William.
When Bitcoin doesn't stop going up.
When Bitcoin keeps me nice and warm from the incoming cold front. The joy that it produces inside just constantly provides.
Just provides for you. So we never gave predictions of where Bitcoin was going to be last episode.
We didn't? We didn't. We didn't.
We didn't.
You're right.
No, we did not. We didn't.
We fumbled. We fumbled, guys. I'm sorry.
I don't think we would have said this either way. Maybe we would have. But Bitcoin's on the cusp of breaking 100,000.
Literally. It is.
Like, actually.
At this point, it's just teasing.
It is currently sitting at... What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said at this point, it's just teasing everybody.
Facts. At this current point, it's sitting at $98,127 with a peak price, with a peak all-time high price of $99,000 exact. $99,000.
Exact?
Pretty exact. Like, at least for this chart, it's even a little below. Like, it's on not even. It's like 99 exact, pretty much.
Nah, it's definitely hit 99 because I got notifications from like 3 different
99
apps.
And $18.53 to be exact.
That's crazy. It is on the rise. Well, right now it's not, but in general, Bitcoin is pushing on, trekking along.
Trekking along with taking dominance with it.
Yeah.
I only say that because Bitcoin dominance got up to like 61.5%. Quite high.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, if my paycheck comes in soon, I think it's going straight to the alts.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think about that one, William? Good idea, bad idea?
Nah, alts. Bitcoin dominance should be nearing a rejected point at some point. We'll get into that now. But that's where alts looking like they're about to get ready to pop. This milestone of 99,000, we are celebrating.
Yes,
like
sir.
Fancy men. Cheers to everyone out there
for holding and surviving the crypto winter.
Facts. Let me take this off because I can't see shit.
It did look cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't see enough. I can't see the charts very well though.
Yeah, you tried.
You think I should just keep it on for the entire episode and just read the charts like that? It's just a little darker. Because the thing is, the only thing is you can see the everything reflected.
That is true. It's probably not the move.
Nah. Well then.
Now we're getting
on to other
business.
Notes.
Business, William.
Okay, so I think we should first quickly cover the Bitcoin Reserve that we did not, I think, properly cover last episode.
Probably not. I think we might not have done that correctly.
Okay. So, I thought there was miscommunications here, and I wasn't aware. I wasn't paying attention, apparently.
Some critical information was left out.
Critical information that was not aware. So, Cynthia Loomis, for the Bitcoin Reserve, was proposing to buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, for the next 5 years, buying roughly 250,000 a year,
which is wild.
To reach the goal of 1 million.
Yeah.
200,000 a year, correct.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. I was not aware of that. I remember it being 5 years, 1 million Bitcoin. I wasn't aware of that. Me and William were having this conversation about the Bitcoin reserve, potential Bitcoin reserve. And then he's like, oh, well, if they're planning on buying 200,000 a year, I was like, wait, what do you mean planning on buying 200,000 a year? I was not aware of this.
So I was aware of that at the time. I just didn't catch that we didn't bring it up.
Talk about it, yeah.
Yeah. While at the same time also still holding our initial 250,000.
Mm-hmm.
Which meaning we would end up totaling around 1.2 million in Bitcoin. Which
is an astronomically large amount of Bitcoin.
A stupid number.
That's literally stupid. Like, not literally stupid, figuratively stupid.
Yes.
I don't think there's many. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 crypto wallets out there with that much Bitcoin.
1 million?
Satoshi? How much does Satoshi have?
I think Satoshi's the only one with 1 million Bitcoin.
Okay. I thought you might have had more than one wallet though.
No. It's all on one wallet.
It's
just a
Genesis wallet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no from my memory, there is no wallet holding 1 million Bitcoin other than Satoshi's wallet.
Granted, if the United States were to start buying Bitcoin at that large volume, they are not holding that on one wallet either.
Yes. So let's reward it then. To my knowledge, there is no one disclosed to be holding 1 million Bitcoin.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Besides Satoshi.
Besides Satoshi on one wallet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. On that same exact note of them creating that, we also have Michael Saylor who's buying Bitcoin at an astronomical rate.
Yeah, absolute savage moves from Michael Saylor.
So I actually have some stats for us for this. So
perfect.
I have questions for you.
Okay.
How much Bitcoin do you think Michael Saylor currently holds after his last purchase?
300,000 plus.
Yes. The exact number is 331,200.
Wow.
Currently at a average price of 49,800. He's basically doubled.
So he's doing great.
He is killing it. On that same note, how much money do you think Michael Saylor has invested in Bitcoin?
Like current valuation?
What do you mean? No, current. Like, well, how much? When I ask you, how much did you invest?
How much he spent in acquiring?
How much has he spent acquiring Bitcoin?
A stupidly large number. Also,
I'll give you a little hint. I'll give you a little help.
I want to say 15 billion.
You were basically on the money.
Really?
Michael Saylor has invested 16.5 billion buying Bitcoin. His last 2 purchases have been the biggest. The one that he bought November 17th, which was for 88,000 average price for 4.6 billion, and November 10th.
I was aware of that one.
To 74,000 for 2 billion. Last time he bought before that was only for $147 million. These 2 purchases have been the largest purchases made for Bitcoin.
Wow.
Not in one person, one entity, not like the ETFs are buying for everyone else, and then BlackRock's just making one big purchase, and we all say it's BlackRock, but everyone's buying.
Yeah. BlackRock's not really buying. Like BlackRock's buying it on behalf of other
on people's behalf. This is MicroStrategy owning all this Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy numbers.
Yeah, literally. Also, stupidly large numbers.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you one more question for Michael Saylor.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you think he has sold Bitcoin?
Sold? 0.
Once.
Am I right? Oh, he sold Bitcoin once? Okay.
He has.
I mean, I was close. I was kind of doing a bit of hyperbole there also. I wasn't sure. I assumed close to 0, approaching 0.
Yeah, no. He sold Bitcoin. He has sold not one. He hasn't sold one Bitcoin. He sold BTC once for. He sold a total Bitcoin of 704 Bitcoin, and it was basically just to pay taxes, fees, and like any whatever he had to pay. And he hasn't sold ever. He hasn't sold again.
Okay.
Also, do you want to know what price he sold for?
Oh no. 14,000.
Close again.
Really?
Yeah, 16,750.
Damn, it looks like 16 is the number for today.
Yeah. So, lastly, Michael Saylor has raised another $3 billion to buy Bitcoin.
Another 3 billion?
Yep.
Damn, this guy's going in. Like,
yeah.
Michael Saylor really makes me feel like I'm not bullish enough on Bitcoin.
You're not. When I hear him talk, you're not bullish enough. So he came out when they did their quarterly earnings. In the earnings, they basically said that they have a plan to buy 42 billion worth of Bitcoin within the next 3 years.
Say that again.
They want to buy $42 billion worth of Bitcoin. 42 billion, yes, in the next 3 years.
Wild.
He's already beating his expected that expected number, because he already bought in this time frame, right? Since he announced that, he's already spent 6.4. He's already spent 6.63 billion. He already raised another 3 billion. We're already at 9.
Yeah,
and it's technically like the beginning of year 1.
Yeah, the guy's trucking along real fast.
So he will buy that out before that 3-year period at buying at that rate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing is, like, by year 2.5, like, if he hadn't reached that by then, it's going to be much harder for him to accumulate funds to buy more because of the fact that it will likely be crypto winter.
Yeah, but I would also feel like he would be able to get it for cheaper because crypto winter still doesn't put Bitcoin anywhere near those bottoms anymore.
Yes, he would be able to get it
in the new space of things.
Yeah, he would be able to get it for cheaper relative to prices around that time, but interest would be lower.
He doesn't pay interest.
No,
you're talking about Bitcoin interest.
Yeah, like interest, like open interest, would be lower. So then it'll be harder to raise funds.
Do you want to know why? I'm gonna say why you're wrong, and this is the only time I really tried to avoid saying you're wrong on the pod. You're wrong.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I don't try to say you're wrong though.
Okay, yeah, you don't try to say it. You just say it. It's fine, William. It's fine. Just messing with you.
Because if there is to be a Bitcoin reserve created, and if there are all these other companies buying Bitcoin, no matter the time in the year, they'll probably be buying in the winter.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that's what's interesting about this current cycle, is that we don't know what's going to happen after 2025.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are we going to see this crazy downfall and this super low interest? Or are these big companies, governments, going to just keep on buying Bitcoin after the fact?
That is a very interesting question.
Because Michael Saylor said on all the podcasts he's been on, he goes, there is no reason for the U.S. government not to try and go out there and buy 30 to 20% of Bitcoin that's currently in the market.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement. I was having a conversation with my dad. About how the current administration that's about to come up might try to actually devalue the dollar. Bunch of like technical stuff for reasoning why. I told him, I was like, I'm not for devaluing the dollar, the US dollar, but if they will be doing that, the sole purpose should be for acquiring more Bitcoin. And if that's the case, then I'm okay with it. That's the same thing Sailor said.
Like, yeah, you basically like the fiat's gonna be devalued no matter what. So why don't we take the fiat and buy something that doesn't devalue?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. What I was telling my dad, actually.
Which I don't mind. I don't want them to hold 30%. If anyone's gonna hold it, I would rather be it America than anyone else. I would rather not be the case, just because I don't want the holding of Bitcoin to be the Bitcoin holding to be centralized. Because that does put it in a predicament where America sells Bitcoin once and the market will crash.
Correct.
But that's also a difficult thing to say, because we've also never sold our gold before either. Well, to add, Cynthia Lumen's proposal was to sell our gold reserves to Bitcoin.
Loomis out here wilding.
Bro, she's saying all the right things to get the crypto bros happy.
That's crazy. Yeah. There will be definitely a lot of money coming into the United States for being like generated off of selling gold. Like just shifting gold from gold to Bitcoin would be very beneficial. My kind of like concern with that is the flooding of gold into the market will have some type of effect with like manufacturing computers in the long run. What effect specifically?
Does it though?
I think so. Like I think it will provide, because like the chips are being produced where in Singapore, is it?
Taiwan,
correction. Yes. The chips are being produced in Taiwan. There's a lot of like political issues with Taiwan. I mean, if it maybe helps them.
NVIDIA's American.
Yeah, I understand that, but the manufacturing is being done in Taiwan.
Because it's cheaper labor.
Yeah, that's part of it. So it's also like the fact that like Taiwan has this like independence from China, so to say. But again, very political situation on that spectrum that I'm not fully informed of at the moment. I feel like there might be some type of, not necessarily turmoil, but shift in computer chip manufacturing. And I feel like a lot might happen from an event like that, where if the U.S. were to sell its gold. And this is just me like speculating. Like, there's no basis in this. It's just more so like,
yeah, I can't argue just because I don't see your worry, but also could be me because I don't see it yet. But maybe in an hour from now, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I do see it. I can see it.
Yeah. I'm not saying it might be a good thing or bad thing. Like I just don't know. I feel like flooding the market with gold might affect that.
Well, to preface, they wouldn't sell it all at once either. It would probably be sold in like a time period.
True.
Or it would be like an overlapping sale. It wouldn't be all at once.
That would make sense.
So,
is that included in her bill?
I don't know if it is, but I know she has said it.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I believe I heard her. If I'm not mistaken, I watched a clip of her today saying that.
Mhm.
That that she says we don't have to print more dollars. We can just use our existing gold, sell it, and use that money to buy the Bitcoin. We don't have to print more money or take loans or debt to do it.
Okay.
So while we're on the topic of gold and Bitcoin, so we have the ETFs that have been taking all the Bitcoin that's in the market pretty much. So I have a question. I want, since you've been doing pretty good at this guessing game, I want to see how good you are.
Let's see.
What do you how much? So this is the value. Oh no, it's the total assets held actually. If I'm this says here. So this says just in Bitcoin ETFs are catching up to gold ETFs for total assets held.
Mm-hmm.
How much gold do you think the gold ETF holds?
Like in ounces or US dollars?
So this is in dollars.
Okay. 180 billion.
You're close, but you're a little far off. You're a little high.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a little high. So what? 140.
You're halfway there.
In between.
In between 140.
So like 160, 155.
I missaid that. 121.
Okay. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. 121. Okay. Yeah. I was a little high for sure.
How much Bitcoin do we hold in dollars? Remember the question. I remember what I said. We're catching up.
We're catching up. Yeah. I don't know. Did we break 100 billion? Oh, we broke 100 billion? Where we at?
104.
104. Nice. We are catching up.
Bitcoin has done that in 11 months.
Yeah, that's wild. That's literally bonkers, actually.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we're gonna have this big Bitcoin winter anymore. This crypto winter like that. Maybe for alts, but Bitcoin has just so much money access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. It might just be because of the sheer, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, limit to Bitcoin. Like, there's not that much Bitcoin. So, like, I feel like that still has, like, a lot of potential to fluctuate markets when small amounts get introduced, like 1,000 Bitcoin.
What do you mean?
That's like if 1,000 Bitcoin were to go into the market. America has 200,000 Bitcoin, for example.
Yeah.
Granted, we are sitting in a position right now where they plan on. It looks like they plan on keeping the 200,000 and accumulating more.
That.
Yeah, but like 1,000 Bitcoin makes a big difference in the market versus 1,000 like ounces of gold. I don't think that's gonna make a big difference.
I see what you're saying.
Like, there's a lot of gold. So like you would have to find a large like what is the ratio gold to Bitcoin in actual like asset, not in dollar. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah, like they're probably holding less physical gold than what they're actually holding of Bitcoin. Right?
Yeah, in percentage of total.
In the ratio
of,
term.
Exactly. Of total Bitcoin and total gold. So like
yeah, the ETFs hold a metric shit ton of actual Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't hold an actual shit ton of gold.
Yeah, they own $120 billion worth of gold. Yeah, but
gold's market cap is so large, it's almost insignificant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if someone were to like some whale with 1,000 Bitcoin were to like just dump it into the market, that might make a pretty significant move. And I say significant just like you'll see it. I'm not saying it's gonna
Yeah,
hurt,
it
but
would
you'll definitely
fluctuate
see
the
it.
price.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But also, it's also the amount of Bitcoin that ETFs are buying, though. It's kind of
That's a
it's
whole
kind
nother
of the
story.
same thing when
Yeah.
they're selling. Like when an ETF sells, you know they sold because it affects the price drastically.
Yeah, and then also like there is obviously like a lot of buying interest. Like the ETFs have been accumulating Bitcoin like crazy. The potential for the United States government to start buying is going up. Companies are buying Bitcoin. Like look at Sailor, look at Metaplanet.
Well,
like these are companies that
wait,
have
to alley-oop it to you, Sailor has announced. Well, I think it happened on Twitter. He's meeting with Rumble CEO to get Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Microsoft apparently gave him a 3-minute window to tell him why they should get Bitcoin on their balance sheet as well.
Yeah, 100%. So like Microsoft, it would make sense for Microsoft, I think, to start buying Bitcoin.
Want me to give you one more?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
China also legalized Bitcoin as property.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw that today. Like they're considering
interesting.
Bitcoin and those assets as actual land property. It is yours.
That's interesting because my understanding is people don't own land in China. They don't own property. They're simply leased it by the government for for 80. That's not what I've come to understand about Chinese properties. They lease the land for like 150 years from the government.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same thing as paying property tax. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah,
it's the same.
You
It's the
don't own
same.
it once, you know.
Yeah. But that's cool.
But that's
Anyways.
property rights.
Yeah. That's a whole different story. Anyways, as I was saying, the interest for buying and accumulating Bitcoin is on the rise. Like there is no doubt about that. So even if we do have a large whale of 1,000 Bitcoin dump onto the market, at this rate, it's gonna get gobbled up in a heartbeat.
Do you remember at what amount, like how much Bitcoin Germany dropped on the market? Wasn't it like 50,000 Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And they sold it off within like weeks. But once that selling pressure was gone, Bitcoin just kept on going up.
Yeah. It's literally like the amount of purchasing going on is quite literally insane.
Also, just because, let's say someone does decide to sell 1,000 Bitcoin, it doesn't have to be OTC. It doesn't have to be open market. It could be over the counter. It could be an OTC deal, which won't affect the market. I'm pretty sure if the US was like, oh, we're going to sell this Bitcoin, Sater would be like, I will buy a portion. I'll buy whatever I can. Like other crypto whales or investors will try to purchase the Bitcoin.
Directly, yeah.
Directly.
What's the mining rate right now?
I have no idea.
3.125?
Oh, you're talking about how much Bitcoin there is being mined?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 point something. 3.25. Yeah.
125, I think it is. I don't remember right now. How do I not remember this? This
forget
was
that
big.
number.
Like I knew this a few months ago.
Yeah, but you got into the hype of the Bitcoin price.
Yeah, pretty much probably. I was like, oh, mining is gonna get shut down. No, well, not shut down, but I cut it in half. What is Bitcoin's Coinbase? And of course, the internet does not know what I mean by that.
Okay,
So essentially,
I'll look it for you.
essentially, if you didn't know now, the original word for like the mining reward, like part of like the term for it was Coinbase, like the Coinbase for each mining, for each block mined is the amount that you're rewarded, and that's kind of how Coinbase got its name.
3.125.
Yeah, I was right. That's what I thought. So 3.125 for every 10 minutes. There's 24 hours in a day.
I think that's 425.
Hmm?
I think it's 425, the amount of Bitcoin being mined a day.
425 Bitcoin a day?
I think so. That's the number I remember in my brain. Or it could be three something.
6 times 24, 450.
Damn it. I was close
You're
to the
close.
first answer.
Yeah, 450. 450 Bitcoin a day.
Yeah, we're accumulating more than that a day.
The ETFs are eating that up.
Mm-hmm.
So buy it while you still can. I don't know. That's not advice.
He's
I'm
saying
just
what
seeing
he's
a
gonna
trend.
do.
I'm just seeing a trend here. Yeah. Can you believe this?
What?
A little hoop is
Oh, I'm not looking at you.
oh my bad.
Oh, for your wine.
Yeah.
This man.
This is I don't drink wine frequently. At least I haven't in the past couple months. And this is what I found. I was like, I got this. I will use this.
So one more. I forgot to mention this. Another Mara Holdings. We didn't mention it last episode, but they raised 750 million to also hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet. This week they announced that they're going to raise another $1 billion at 0% interest to buy more Bitcoin as well, doing the Sailor strategy pretty much.
They're raising
Another $1 billion
at 0%. Like
yeah.
Like
How?
you're
gonna ask me how, right?
Like they are not being charged any interest.
You want me to tell you how?
Yeah, tell me how, because I want to
Okay.
get on that.
You're not gonna be able to do it, buddy. So essentially, it's what MicroStrategy is doing. The same way he gets it, basically at zero interest. So it's non-regulated funding. Essentially, he's offering comments. He's offering convertible bonds essentially for his company, meaning he's going to sell you the bonds at a premium. He's going to sell it to you at a premium, saying essentially, I promise, once the price gets to example 675 MicroStrategies, I will pay you back at that price with whatever interest we agree upon. For 5 years, meaning at the 5-year mark, I pay you back, meaning I buy back my stocks, and I pay you what that premium is, and you just give me an X amount now. But the thing is, that's only being done with investors or like really big institutions.
Yeah.
That want to get into Bitcoin or get in the situation to get into Bitcoin, but they can't. I have something written. I'll read it to you quick. I'm just trying
some
to
bonds. He's issuing out bonds.
Convertible bonds for his company, which I'm assuming that's what Mara is also doing, is just issuing convertible bonds.
Has to be.
So they essentially increase the amount of stocks they have, but since it doesn't go to the open market, it doesn't affect the stock price itself. It just goes on to those holders, and they just hold it until that strike price is hit, or until MicroStrategy buys them back at the premium that was agreed upon. Yeah, to read it exactly, so this is how MicroStrategy is borrowing $3 million. MicroStrategy borrowed $3 billion through convertible notes, which can later be converted into company stock if certain conditions are met. They plan to use the money to buy more Bitcoin and fund their other corporate needs. They're also betting on Bitcoin's value continuing to rise over time. It's the same thing Mara's doing. They're going to issue that convertible note for their stocks. So he explained that he's basically lending it to institutions who cannot buy the ETFs but want to get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's capitalizing on a whole on market that wants exposure but literally cannot get exposure.
Yeah, they're calling it the money glitch.
I don't know if I'd call that 0%. though, because there is a premium.
But
So,
there's no interest.
I mean, yeah, it is no interest, because it's technically no interest. Just a premium. It's a fee.
Yeah, but that premium isn't the interest though.
Yeah,
Interest
yeah,
would
you're right.
interest
Yeah,
would
interest-
be worse.
Interest is worse, yeah, because premium's fixed.
Exactly. He will not pay above the premium of that 672. And either way, if Bitcoin does do it, MicroStrategy will probably surpass that. And he also doesn't have
Yeah.
to wait until they matured at the I think it was a 4-year mark. He can buy it at any point in time
Right,
he
at any
feels
point.
comfortable,
It's or
whatever the
literally
terms are agreed upon.
crazy strategy out there.
So that's probably what Mara was doing as well.
But yeah, I was talking to my dad about like, I'm trying to get loans for purchasing Bitcoin. Problem is banks don't particularly want to give out loans for purchasing Bitcoin. And then he goes, "What interest rate are you willing to take?" I go, "Honestly, given that interest rates are right now, what's the federal interest rate sitting at, William? Do you remember?"
They just dropped it again. I think we're at 4.5 or 4.75.
Yeah. I was like,
I think we're either
honestly,
at 5 or 4.75.
I was like, honestly, interest rate sitting around 5 right now. They could give me whatever. I don't care. I'll take it because I'm not gonna get an interest rate like their highest interest rate would not get anywhere close to what Bitcoin's annual return rate is long term. So I was like, as long as I could afford the monthly payments or whatever like terms that is, I was like, I'll take it. I
feel like I've talked to you about this before, but why don't you just trade margin?
Explain that to me, because I've been out of the trading game for a bit.
Okay, so I put it out there. I'm garbage at leverage trading. I'm way better. I can do margin. I'm better at that.
So that leverage and margin are not the same?
No.
Okay.
They're cousins.
Okay, fair.
So margin trading is not all exchanges do it. You have to find one that does. I'll tell you, though. I know a few that do. We're not sponsored, so I don't feel like Femex, BitGet, they do it. Femex is non KYC. You can also do this on low leverage. It works the same idea.
Okay.
It works with the same idea. Oh, I think he froze there. You can hear me? You good?
I could hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. No, I couldn't. If you were talking, no.
No, I wasn't talking. I was just listening.
Oh.
But yeah, something came up saying reconnecting. I was like, oh my God.
So margin trading is all they're doing is if you have it's a fixed amount they're gonna give you. Femex is 5x. So whatever, if you put $100 in, they're gonna only let you borrow max $500.
Okay.
Your main risk, if there is no stop loss, is a liquidation. Meaning, if price goes below this, they will sell the asset you're holding until you are back to no liquidation level.
Mm-hmm.
Or if price is moving really fast, it will liquidate it completely.
Yeah.
At that point, though, they're gonna lend you for keep it simple. They're gonna give you 100 USDT. They're gonna lend you 400 USDT.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give I can look it up. But I'm gonna give you a fixed rate. They're gonna say it's gonna be for that entire amount for as long as you hold it. It's gonna be 10%.
The 400 USDT.
The 400 USDT. For as long as you hold it, it'll be 10%, and it accrues daily, but not 10%. Okay. But they're not gonna charge you that 10%. All I want is 10% for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll just keep on accruing, and you don't have to pay back that loan amount as a monthly payment. You can pay it all. You can hold it and not do anything until price has gone up, whatever you want, and then you can sell the full position. and pay back the debt, or you can sell half of the position and pay back the debt.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could work with that.
So, like, perfect example, I traded Sol on margin. I had a total asset value in the margin account of $800. My max, the max amount they would lend me was $2,800, almost $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
It was $300 in USDT and $500 in an asset in Say. I took out half of that. I took out $1,600 to actually a little less. $1,600 to buy the Sol. I bought that Sol. Price today, I TP'd half of the position at like 251. Took out half of the money and paid off the debt, or the majority of the debt.
Mm-hmm.
I also sold my Say earlier at break even pretty much and paid off the debt. So whatever I have left in Sol is mine. I only have to pay back the $120 in debt I have. But I have I would have 5 Sol.
Okay.
And then I could use that. I could borrow against that Sol.
Yeah.
That I have
once
now.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have the 5 Sol now. I can borrow more margin.
Okay, I see. So like that was like a green trade overall.
Yeah. The account that account's perfectly green.
Mm-hmm.
But it's less stressful than having to worry about, especially if we're in a trending. I also got a good trade and a good point, and we're in a trending market now, so it's less stressful. There's less choppiness. But also you don't have to worry about liquidations as much since there is space.
Because leverage is more like cutthroat.
Not more cutthroat. It typically people use leverage with higher amounts, and they also have higher fees. But that's why I say you can also do it on leverage. You can do a 3x you can do 3x leverage trade, and if you put $1,000 in, you'll be trading it at 300.
And then
but
you
that
could also
same
do
liquidation level is also low.
You could do also like a margin trade on leverage.
No.
Okay.
Margin it's the only difference is there's less wiggle room with the margin trade. It's more like you're getting a loan for the difference. On leverages, we're gonna loan you the same thing, but the way it's structured is a little different.
Okay.
They do the same thing, but they're not the same thing.
It's like a credit card and debit card.
It's
spend
more
money
like
on
credit card, mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's definitely more accurate description, analogy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could look into that once I get some free time. Maybe. We'll see. So MicroStrategy is definitely on like this whole trend of lending out. Like they're pretty much doing margins to a degree because they're, well, no, not even. That's just a completely different strategy.
Yeah, because they don't have a risk of a margin call.
Mm-hmm. So many games you could play out here with funds.
Well, especially if you're a company at that level.
Yeah. When you're a company of that level, you could just do so much things. Like that's literally completely different ball game.
So one last little topical thing for you. Pennsylvania to allocate what percentage to a Bitcoin reserve?
Pennsylvania?
Well, I'll reread it to you. So they want to pass. So they're saying if Pennsylvania to allocate blank of its blank reserves to buy Bitcoin, if passes the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Act.
Well, first of all, that in and of itself is pretty cool news. And then you're asking blank of its blank?
Yeah. So what percentage
of its total?
of its total, and what's the total?
Of its total reserve?
Yep.
Or of its total Bitcoin reserve?
Nope. So they don't have a Bitcoin reserve yet. They're going to allocate to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking you, what's a percentage they're going to allocate? And the other blank is what's their total amount that they have in reserve.
Pennsylvania. This is a good one. I don't know, 350 billion total reserve. Is that too high?
For the state of Pennsylvania, yeah, dude. What the
Okay.
Damn.
I don't know, because I'm like trying to see how much America's got, and I was just like, I don't know. So what? 50 billion. Still too high? A billion?
7.
I got thrown off. 750 million?
700 billion. I mean 7 billion.
7 billion. Okay.
My fault.
Okay, so there I was in the
Shocked
billions.
me.
Okay. Billions.
It is,
billions
it
was
is
right.
a billion, but it's not
Because
that
at first I was thinking, I was like, no, like hundreds of millions is too small. But then at the same time I was like, what's too much? Whatever. So 7 billion. What percentage? 5%?
Are you going to allocate to Bitcoin reserve if it passes?
I'm gonna give a conservative 5%.
Dude, you're close.
Yeah?
Yeah.
3.
Double it.
6.
No. 10.
Oh, double 10.
Double your initial amount, yeah.
Double my initial. Okay. 10. Okay. That's more bullish than I expected.
That's very bullish.
Yeah, that's very bullish. Wow.
100%.
Pennsylvania.
cooking.
And that's not even where Loomis is from.
Where is she from? I don't know what state she has.
I think it's like Wyoming.
Lit.
I'm pretty sure. Damn, Pennsylvania out here. And then that's so 10% of 7 billion is what, 70 million?
Mm.
7 billion times 0.10.
700?
700 million, yeah. Yeah, 700 million. How much Bitcoin is that?
At today's price is quite a bit.
700 million divided by what, 98,000?
Yeah, I'll give you 98, yeah.
7,142 Bitcoin.
Good amount of Bitcoin.
It's all pretty penny.
It's a good amount of Bitcoin.
That's crazy. You know, Pennsylvania might make a comeback. Might make it back to the top 10 states eventually.
Well, yeah.
I don't know which ones are in the top 10. I just know Pennsylvania's kind of been like off the chart for a bit.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't heard too much Pennsylvania news.
Start hating on Pennsylvania now.
Completely undeserved too. Because
I don't know what you're trying to do here.
I'm going off the rails, Williams. That's what's happening.
The wine's starting to kick in.
That's what's happening.
The wine is playing an effect.
Okay. Well, by any chance, have you taken a look at the liquidation heat map to see more or less where liquidation prices are for Bitcoin? I'm kind of curious because I haven't looked at it, and I wonder where liquidation's sitting at right now.
You want me to share the chart for that? And share the screen?
I mean, if you want to, you don't have to. You could just give me a price. Where it's hot, where it's cold.
I feel like I'm gonna have to share a screen for this one.
Okay. He's like, no, it's not. It's one of those complicated ones.
It's a good amount of liquidity around.
Oh, I see. So there's this is like.
So this is the weekly liquidation map.
Mm-hmm.
And there is quite a bit of liquidity here at all these levels, 87, 88, 90, all here. There's a good amount. There's over $1 billion here in liquidity.
Over $1 billion?
Yeah. Again, liquidation, leverage, 453. You go down, it's 305. You go down some more, it's 343. There is a lot of money down here.
Oh, I see. So like for each of those, that's how much.
That's how much liquidity is down there. Whether it takes that full amount or not is a different story, right? But there is that much there.
I see.
I mean, if you go to 2 week, let's see if it loads there, or is that too much to ask? Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting at some point. That's why I asked.
There's a lot of liquidity even in 75,000s too. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, well, I have my eyes out on that 85. That looks like this.
85?
Possible. Mm-hmm.
So from where we currently are, that'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell you, if we don't hold that level, that 85,000, we're coming here.
We're going to bleed down to 7.
We're going to $72,000 if we don't hold that 85,000. And that's a fact.
That is a fact.
Because there's nothing holding us above it. Nothing. No.
But that's from where we are to 85, that's 13%.
About 13-14%, yeah.
I mean, and that's not uncommon for crypto. It's not uncommon for Bitcoin.
It is? Nope. Not at all. This I won't argue with. It's not.
I don't know. I think there is a possibility that we might get a lot of sell pressure at 100 because it is that 100. It's like, oh, Bitcoin hit it and then crashed down to 85. That's a possibility. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're basically at 100 too.
I think the smart money that might have been in the game for a while, took some profits at 100, might jump back in at 85. Just to keep the ball rolling. Because if they don't get in at 85, the other risk is buying back at where they just sold.
So there isn't a whole lot of reason to stop at 85. 85 is just this little candle.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And then this would be the top of those candles. And this is on the daily time frame. If you go to a weekly though, that's what this looks like.
It's even less.
There is no reason to stop at 85K.
So then it will drop down to what? 72?
Right around here, 71. Which, if you go to a prior cycle, we didn't drop. We've done that, right? Like we came from here. went all the way up. This was our really big, on a weekly time frame, this was our biggest retest, our biggest pullback there initially. It's 28%.
Yeah. So 70 looks like it's a possibility.
So at least high 70s. Like, I'm not saying we have to come all the way down here, but anything around here is easy because there is a lot of support on that top. A lot can happen, I guess, there.
It's a possibility. Question is, can you time the market?
No. I wouldn't say you can time the market. Timing the market's hard.
Time the market's next to
That's not a fun thing. All you can really do is strategically take profits out. Mind you, we are still pushing in this current time frame, like up, like slowly but surely we're grinding it. Like right here.
Yeah, I'm torn, William.
With what?
Because I'm almost certain a 20% correction is a given. But so like a 20% correction from now just puts us down to like the high 70s.
20% from 100?
From where we're at now, 98. Yeah.
No. Yeah, 79.
Okay.
78.
Yeah, makes sense. 78. But like, I kind of think there's a possibility where we might do the run up to 120.
So that's, people are theorizing that's a possibility. Because if you were to take this from where we are right now, I think, let me do this, make sure I do this right. From previous all-time highs to the current lows, to the most recent, to the lowest of lows. $1,618. Yeah, so if I did this right, we're currently at resistance. This 100 region is our resistance. Respectfully.
Using like the Fibonacci.
Yeah.
1618.
Yeah. Let me just give it a little tuning right there. So it'll be 98, and the next one's 150.
98 and 150?
Yep. And the third one, because Bitcoin typically does hit all three of these, is 200.
But that's like later in the cycle, no?
That's peak. That's the absolute peak. That will be late November.
So you think,
well, typically from the regular range, it would be mid-October, early October.
So is it possible that we have a correction? Like,
what do you mean?
Now. Like now.
Maybe?
Because we're hitting resistance. We're in price discovery. We have a lot of liquidity in the heat map at 85. And we have more further down than that. Maybe some accumulation, correction followed by some accumulation for the next run up.
So I wouldn't disagree with you. However, we typically get this, right? Prior cycle. right? We saw a run up. We went from these lows.
Election day. Is that election day?
Yeah, that's election day. From results, whatever, we went all the way here
Mm-hmm.
to the top. We went up 41%. We're already up that. And we came down, retested, came back down, and then finally broke through, right? And you see this here. I'll explain this line in a second.
Okay.
Right? This is just start of the new year, pretty much. I originally had it to here, the 31st. We were running up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing I'm seeing, though, with this specific chart is, you see this here? You see this line? That's the previous all-time high. The pink line. That's the previous all-time high from 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Where we had to break, where we had to fight to break above.
Mm-hmm.
You see this one? You see, and then we make a new all-time high here. Do you see something different about this cycle? You see it? You seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
We already broke through it more than once, and we ranged on the high end for this long. We ranged in this circle here.
Mm-hmm.
For however long that was, battling a previous all-time high where that's not here. That doesn't exist here. We've never done this anywhere here, or at least in this phase. Like, that's not here. We're not battling all-time highs here. In this cycle, we did. So there is that little caveat, which originally did give us this little pullbacks.
Yeah, I 100% see what you're saying.
So if we take that with a little bit of a grain of salt, get the measuring tool out again. Let's say here to beginning of the year, the 31st. That's 58 days, right? Of up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this little side of sideways that we did here.
There was a little bit of sideways, yeah.
I'm torn on the fact of, do we just continue going up, right? Because we did go up from here to here. It's only up. There's no consistent red days. Unlike you see here.
This is a daily chart.
Yeah, this is on the daily.
Okay.
Like they're real fast bounce backs. Unlike where we get this little line here, which is the start of the new year. This is typically, this line here is on another chart is the dominance reaching a high and then falling over. So Bitcoin dominance peaked here at this line and then fell over, and then what happened next? The dominance peaked here, it went up a little, prices continue to go up. We went actually downturn. Like, this was a continuous downturn of like a couple days versus here, which was like 2 days, and then we're back up to previous prices.
Mm-hmm.
Here was a couple of days, and then we grind it back up. We already did the grinding. We pre-grind. It's all here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we get more upside. I think we don't get this. I think instead of seeing this little correction down here like we typically would, we see this, but we see it a little later. I think we get closer to like this 140, 120 range. And then pull back and make so.
You see, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I see what you're saying. And yes, we did break all-time high before this whole event, but I am inclined to believe, and there's no way for me to prove this on the chart because there just isn't, but I am inclined to believe that there is a psychological barrier at the 100,000 mark.
No, you're right. 100%. I'm not going to discount the fact that you're saying there's a psychological barrier. You're not.
And I am partially inclined to say that resistance of the all-time high is getting superimposed on this 100,000.
The only bat I would give you, rebuttal, would be the ETFs are buying.
True.
So whether or not we reject on it, I am curious to see how long we're down.
Yeah, probably. No, so that's what I'm thinking. This might be like an overnight thing.
Maybe.
It might be an overnight thing, but even then, like, China has like 2 or 3 Bitcoin ETFs.
There are a few different people have it, yeah.
Yeah, so like, let's just say that they don't buy it up.
I'm with you.
It is a tough one, guys. If you made it this far, leave a comment letting us know if we were right or wrong, because you'll probably see this by then.
So did you know something else on this chart?
I did notice a blue line that you had on the top. I don't know.
Oh no, chart? I meant that after every election we go up.
Oh yeah, but that's not an election thing. I think that's a combination of the halvening and
no, that's 100% it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Without the halvening, that wouldn't happen. But the election is like a catalyst.
A catalyst with it. Like, it just goes along with it.
Yeah. 100%. It is triggered by the election for sure.
Yeah, and also to everyone, I will say here first. I won't say it here first. Other people have said it, but I think alt season will start. Well, it will start once BTC dominance finally falls down.
Yeah, I mean, you said it before.
Yeah, it typically from charts. It typically starts falling over after January.
Okay, yeah. So like, my thing is for the next 2 months, pretty much, I'm gonna be accumulating alts because
pretty much,
although they're still on the climb, they still have a lot of potential for upside. Because if Bitcoin drops a little bit, it's probably because people are taking profits and they're likely gonna put it into alts.
Moving to alts. Do you want to know the only altcoin that's currently sitting at its prior all-time high?
The only altcoin that's currently sitting at its prior all-time high?
Altcoin.
Which one?
Are you asking like genuinely, or are you asking like, are you just setting it up? I want to know.
Well, there's only one.
There is only one.
So which one is it, William?
It's the llama.
The llama?
The Solana.
It's like, what the heck is the llama?
So is like, currently it's the closest alt to surpassing its previous all-time high if it hasn't done so already.
It is absolutely wrecking it.
I'll tell you right now. Previous all-time high is 259 and some change. It's already hit 259 and some change. It's missing cents to be over its all-time high.
That's wild work from
ETH.
Solana.
No other token, nothing.
Yes, sir. Now, why is Solana doing so hot, William? Why is it doing so good?
Genuine question. I think the same way ETH had NFTs last cycle, Solana has meme coins.
Yeah, That's a good one. That's a big one for sure.
Solana
Yeah,
has
the
meme
meme
coins.
coins.
They're cheaper to use. It's inexpensive to run. It runs well,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really it. It's the meme coin casino. The same way the NFTs were. The NFTs on ETH were. The art gallery
The art gallery.
of digital world.
Yeah. Facts.
Like people were building full on art museums with the NFTs
Mm-hmm.
and selling it for bucks. So I think that's really the play there.
Yeah, Solana's on the come up. I mean, it's on the up. It's up. It's on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like it's definitely going to be entering price discovery soon.
Very soon.
And
Super
Bitcoin
soon,
dominance hasn't even begun to crash, which is the crazy part.
I mean, Bitcoin dominance today topped out at a little over 61.41%.
Wow.
Which
That's super
respectfully
high.
for when Bitcoin dominance has dropped out in the past, we only really have one cycle to go off, which is 2020, because the cycle before that, Ethereum was just introduced. So clearly, the minute ETH was introduced, all these other altcoins came right after and just took natural market cap from Bitcoin, generally. So it's hard to like go off of that one, but off 2020, mid-January, I'm sorry, dominance topped out and then slowly turned down, just went on a downturn. In that time frame, alts were raging, Bitcoin was still pumping, and everything hit peak relatively on like November 10th, November 11th. Bitcoin dominance stayed at like 40 something percent for a while. In that time frame, it just has slowly climbed up. So Bitcoin drops down again to 40% dominance. What does that do to a market?
This is how you know we are still early in this game.
You want to know how early we still are?
William, you literally said that like alts didn't exist 2 cycles ago.
Yes, but you want to know how early we are in this current cycle relative to last cycle?
How early are we?
Total 3, which is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH.
Mm-hmm.
The peak price was 1.13 trillion.
Today?
No, last cycle peak.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think we are now?
That around there. Wait, total 3. So you're saying excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum?
And ETH. Yep. What's our current market cap?
Double that.
What? The
Double?
current market. You think it's higher than 1.1 trillion?
Yeah.
So you think Solana, Phantom, all these other tokens have the total market cap of them is more than 1.1 trillion?
Yeah.
Nope.
No?
Total 3 right now is sitting at $87 million.
87 million?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused. You're saying total 3.
Yep.
Every crypto.
Excluding Bitcoin and ETH.
It's only 87 million?
Yep. Billion. Apologies.
Okay.
Billion.
I was like, I'm confused now. Okay.
No.
87
billion. 87 billion.
Only. That's still short from what I would have.
I mean, you said it was more than 1.1 trillion.
Well, what's a total crypto market cap sitting at right now?
3.23.
So Bitcoin makes up more than one.
Yeah, Bitcoin makes up almost 2 now.
Almost 2 trillion?
1 point something. 1.5. 1 point something.
Jesus. Okay, so 1.5.
Well, I can actually give you, so total market cap, right, is 3.23.
Mm-hmm.
Total 2 excludes Bitcoin is 1.27.
Wow. Okay. Damn, I didn't know Bitcoin's market cap was so high.
Yeah.
That thing's. I haven't been looking at the market cap, honestly. But geez, okay. Yeah, that adds up now. Now
total
the math
3
is starting to click.
Total market cap of everything has already surpassed previous cycle high.
Mm-hmm.
Total 2, which is crazy. Total 2 is still not there.
Yeah.
Total 2 is sitting right now at 1.27. Market high from last cycle was 1.7.
Wow.
We're still really far away from what's going to happen next. Solana just broke all-time high.
That's crazy.
Bitcoin is sitting at 98,900.
So where we at with the price next week, William? What's Solana at next week? Let's not do Bitcoin. We always do Bitcoin.
Solana? My next TP on this margin trade is 280.
280.
I will. Yeah, this is a trade, but at this point, I might just set up for a 2618. I'm gonna say Solana is probably at 280 next week, easy. If we keep up the way we're going, 280, easy.
Mind you. Tuesday, not a week from today.
Yeah, 280.
280.
Easy.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking a week for today, and then I was like, wait, because I was gonna say 3, but that was a little too much. I might have to be with you on this. 280 sounds about right to me too.
So listen, so Solana's 1618 is 418. Its 2618 is 672. Its 3618 is 926.
Damn. Oh, that's actually pretty crazy.
We might get to 100K, Alex, tonight, like soon, like in the next hour. We just hit 99 again.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this might be a fun night.
I do think 280.
Yeah, 280. Yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking a little bit more, but I was giving it probably more time than needed.
Yeah, I think the pullback, this big pullback we're waiting for, happens probably mid-December,
January?
early December.
Early December.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about like it usually happening a few weeks, like 6 to 8 weeks after the election.
Yeah, that's the thing, that major correction. And I will sit on the fact of we broke that resistance that would have been there, that would give us that rejection originally.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying we won't dip around, it won't go down 5-10%, but major correction on Bitcoin after we get moving. I think late December, maybe even mid-January. I'm going to say it like this. When the second Bitcoin dominance tops out, Bitcoin rejects, that's alt season.
Yeah,
like it's gonna go hand in hand, like it always does. Like it's gonna be exact as every other cycle.
I'm hoping that could hold off a little bit.
Like stack up. Oh, new all-time highs. Solana hit new all-time high. Bitcoin just hit new all-time high.
Yeah, I'm hoping that holds off a little bit because
trying to get that bag up,
trying to get that paycheck.
Well, mind you, when Bitcoin rejects and dominance falls, alts will probably bleed out for a couple days too. So that's your buying opportunity. Bang, 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 bang. To everyone who listened this far, hope we made some sense.
Yeah, because we talked a lot. we
did talk.
Kind of. I went a little bit off the rails for a bit, but I think for the most part, this was actually very insightful for myself. Really.
That's awesome.
So, I hope it was good for you guys.
I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your glasses of whatever you're drinking right now. If you're drinking anything, and if you're not, get yourself a drink.
I'm on my
celebrate. And the market's we're still here. We're not done yet.
Yeah,
this is just getting started. We're pre-rich.
We're pre-rich.
We're pre-rich. This is just the tip.
This is it. Really is. Just a little taste of what's to come.
What's to come?
If you made it this far, please drop a like, share, comment. Let us know.
Follow, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Hit the notification bell.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in
to another week
of your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes Crypto.
The Unscripted
Crypto Podcast. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.